Good day, Wellington Rommefeller here, ready for yet another installation of Aristogamer video reviews. And this time I'm joined by my good friend, the Colonel. How have you been, old boy?
Been very well, Jay, except when I was out in Africa Safari, I was sleeping in the canyons and just went to lions with the hens. They came out here and there was a Friday in, but the male strands outside had to save my heart.
Oh, old boy, you always have the craziest adventures. This time we're reviewing a game that's been in development for a very long time.
14 years!
Yes, quite. And that game is called
Duke Nukem Forever!
Doctor, cancel the operation. Duke Nukem just came out.
That's right! Duke Nukem Forever has finally been released!
Yes!
If you believe these fellows, however, 14 years have not been very kind to Duke. Methinks game critics have become unfairly harsh on Duke. A linear FPS starring a badass with a gruff voice who shoots aliens with a myriad of different weapons? Sounds like Halo to me, except Duke has jokes and puzzles. The only things Halo does better are weapon progression and vehicle variety, since only 2 vehicles are driven in Duke, and they feel identical, though the Mighty Foot is certainly cooler than Halo's Warthog.
Too much build-up and not enough crescendos, who I believe has led to these childhood dreams of 14 development being metaphorically crushed here and then just negative reviews.
Yes, and you game reviewers can take that to the bank. If you want, we'll throw down in fisticuffs. The graphics in this game look like Oblivion, and that's not a good thing.
Here's looking at
From the
you,
shiny
kid.
surfaces to the plastic-like faces, Duke Nukem Forever looks like a game that should have been released in 2008 at the latest. Another negative aspect of this game was the limited edition box release, or lack thereof.
Indeed.
The game came bundled with a few items, a smattering of postcards, a few poker chips, and a bust. The bust was the real draw here.
Indeed.
When I think bust, what do you think when you think bust?
Well, Jay, I think about Amadeus Mozart on top of my piano in the old flat at home.
Indeed. And yet, instead of getting a bust like that, we got one like this. Single player has very standard gameplay, but Duke's personality is what people really came for, and he delivers for the most part. His humor certainly isn't for everyone, as it tends to cross some lines in a misguided attempt to be edgy, but it's more funny than not. There are also a variety of interesting weapons, environment objects to interact with, and items to collect that keep the player interested and gaming to the end. If you're thinking surely Duke has something in store for multiplayer, your thinking is sadly incorrect. Multiplayer in this game is spectacularly bland. It has the 4 standard modes, Capture the Flag, King of the Hill, Deathmatch and Team Deathmatch, and nothing else. No interesting niches, nothing only Duke could do, nothing notable at all. It actually has fewer game types than the original Unreal Tournament had in 1999. The levels also feel small, and the only Duke-like multiplayer aspects include the flag and the Capture the Flag being some harlot, and up to 8 paltry Dukes spouting one-liners.
Suck it down.
Doctor? About that cancellation to the cure for cancer I made, is there any way I can get back on that list?
I must admit that the ending was mildly disappointing. I'm not quite sure what I expected, but it certainly wasn't that. The game overall, though, was quite fun. It was very entertaining, and the game was quite funny as well. It crossed some certain lines, perhaps, in a few instances. However, overall, the game was quite humorous. And the gameplay may not have been thoughtful or revolutionary, but it was entertaining. And really, isn't that what it's all about?
If you are fond of the old Xavier Duke, sweetie Reds, I don't care what I tell the old southern girlfriend, then go out and fight it.
Exactly. It's just like Duke 3D, only with better graphics and more offensive jokes. If you can't set aside your biases or you want a more intelligent gaming experience, then by all means take your business elsewhere.
Professor!
This has been J. Wellington Rommefeller and the Colonel here, bidding you a good evening.
And good evening.